We know Toronto is a world-class city. Drake, the Raptors, hockey, and one of the biggest exports of artists and athletes in the world. What was once a small random town somewhere up in Canada just 30 years ago has now become a global metropolis that boasts world-class talent in almost every sector. However, there's a reason they call us Screwface Capital.
2024 handshake shooter.
Despite its massive size and being the most multicultural city in the world, Toronto is still a big village that touts tribalism, unhealthy competition, and envy amongst its communities and artists. For years, artists have had to leave to other countries to get their shot while watching over their shoulder for the envy and cliquiness of their fellow city peers. However, there is one movement alive in this city which looks to unite the artists of Toronto, a grassroots movement. A revival of creativity and a community of creative revolution. That is Content Day, and its founder is Khary Safari, a professional dancing photographer who's made it his life mission to unite Toronto's creatives and give them a space to create freely and authentically. Content Day has been our home for this entire show for the last year. So for our season finale of Nemsworld Uncut, we would like to present Khary Safari. Welcome to Content Day.
Toronto has always been cold, but I always love the people in Toronto.
We're now united. We're a world-class city, and I'd like to feel that energy again. It's been tough. The only time I feel it is around this guy and his events.
People will say when they come into the space or come to an event here, they'll come to me personally and say like, thank you for letting me express myself. You know, I'm like, holy shit, like I didn't know I was actually doing that.
We need a fleshlight for the podcast.
Yeah, man, I'll get it for you. I have to be somewhere for 4, but I can quickly go run and get that for you. Can you figure out a spot to pick it up from and put some money in the card and I can grab it?
Welcome back to another episode of Nemsworld Uncut, brought to you by Content Day. And today we have none other than the CEO, the president, the godfather of Content Day itself, our home here, Khary Safari, aka the dancing photographer.
I won!
Let's go. I did that good. We don't need a second take. Let's get it.
Nailed it. Godfather of Content Day, I like that.
Welcome.
Instead of owner or founder, no, just Godfather of Content
You're
Day.
always over here, and now you're here.
Yeah, it's refreshing. Thanks
What's
for having
new?
me.
Thanks for having us, bro. Thanks for giving us a home for the last 6 months.
Yeah, my guys.
Appreciate you, bro.
This is a special episode.
This is a special episode because when did we meet? When we shot that prank?
Yeah, with Jacob.
With Jacob.
Jacob
with
and Lo.
JBX Creative.
Yeah.
Yeah, so me and Jacob, Jacob's like, yo, you want to do some fucking hilarious shit? You should just go to Eden Center, act like a fucking retard. I'm
How long ago was this?
And they got on 6 Buzz, and that was the first time I ever heard of 6 Buzz.
Yeah.
I was like, we got on what? What's 6 Buzz?
Yeah, it was the early days of 6 Buzz. But like, what did we do again? It was me and Lo, right?
Yeah.
Me and Lo rehearsed a scene where we did a public breakup. And we did this whole scene. I'm like,
I remember
who the
that.
fuck is
Like
John?
8 different times,
I
8
remember
different
that. I was always-
locations.
Yeah.
How long
We did a
ago was
Freaking the
production
hell out of
around it.
everybody. And
We literally did a production around a prank.
Oh, you wanna know? You wanna fucking know? Yeah, I did. I fucked another guy, okay? Yeah, I fucked some guy then. How about that? Hey, you know what? You wanna know? Then I fucked some other guy. How about that? You wanna know that I cheated? I fucked someone else. How about that?
Wanna make a fucking scene? Book!
Go ahead, make a scene.
Cheating fucking whore!
Tell me
My
first.
girlfriend's a lying, cheating whore!
Stop it! Stop it!
My girlfriend's a lying, cheating fucking whore!
How am I a whore? How am I a whore?
fucking done.
How am I a whore? We have an open relationship.
I never agreed to that fucking bullshit.
Move on with your life. You're the one who cheated on me first.
I never cheated on you.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. How about Vegas, bud, when you sucked a dick?
Bruh.
Do you not remember what happened in Vegas? You sucked a dick in Vegas.
Fuck you, I was on drugs.
That you sucked a dick in Vegas. That's cheating, my
Fuck
friend.
you.
That's
I'm a
cheating.
fucking
No,
drug.
you're a fucking asshole.
fucking drug. Fuck you.
This is ridiculous. You sucked a dick in Vegas. How about that?
Fuck you.
How about that?
I was on drugs. You know what? I'm done with you. I'm done with you.
Yeah, okay,
I'm done
fine.
with you.
This is
I am done
embarrassing.
with you.
Yeah, it was a big.
We did Eaton Center. We
big
did
production.
Ryerson
DTC.
Student Learning Center.
Student Learning Center.
We did the
remember that.
Subway, Dundas Station.
food court.
So we like literally were screaming at the top of our lungs. I'm like, you fucking cheated on me, you fucking whore. She's like, you sucked a dick in Vegas. I'm like,
remember the time you sucked a dick in Vegas? You sucked a fucking dick in Vegas.
Fuck.
and I'm like, I was on drugs. And people are like, and I'm like, you're a fucking whore. And then people are like, I'm like, yeah, don't marry a whore.
That shit was all over the
You had
internet.
security like roll up.
Yo, security came up to me and the
times.
guy felt bad. He's like,
He's like,
hey man, what's up, man? I'm like, I can't believe she did that to me. I just stayed in character the whole time. He's like, just come with me, man. Don't worry, there's other girls in the world, man. I'm like,
He's giving you life
I just
advice.
can't believe it, bro. I just can't believe it, bro. She fucking did that to me. He's like, hey, she's not the real one for you, man. I'm just
You should not have sucked that dick in Vegas.
Imagine how much time those guys go through that, man.
don't worry, man.
Downtown Toronto.
So
man,
anyways,
they get it all the time.
he joined us to shoot like stealth mode. And I was like, this guy's a fucking legend. Like he was helping out. Like we're just fucking having fun. Obviously no budgets, like just shooting random shit. And that's how we met. And then you helped me with my album cover shoot. I think that was like shortly after, a few months later.
Oh yeah, Doorman.
Queen Street.
What was that?
It was my Nightlife, my first and only album that I released.
That was
Nightlife.
lit. Freezing cold. That was like one of the coldest nights, and we were all outside pretending. Like, you know when you're like waiting outside the club and you're like, you gotta get inside the club, it's freezing? We were pretending to get inside of a club, freezing our asses off.
Oh my God.
Creating a lineup in front of a nightclub, which was actually a bank.
It was a lit lineup.
And there was a chick like twerking in a thong. Yeah,
We ended up
for
using
the promo.
video.
Yeah.
It was lit.
The whole night, the chick was twerking in a thong. We had a couch in the middle of Queen Street.
Yeah.
And I'm like
I won't
sitting
say the
there
whole night,
smoking
but,
a
you know,
golden
20
joint,
minutes.
and she's like twerking in my face. And I'm like, how are you doing? Are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, okay, we got to
hot girl shit.
I'm like, we got to get the hot dog out. And then she was like squirting mustard on my hot dog.
You guys said twerking in my face.
Yeah, she was twerking on my face. It was fucking, we got to sell an album, bro. It didn't sell. Nobody heard it, but it was still, there's a few songs I like on there.
We gotta sell it. So
We
you gotta
tried.
twerk.
You know, it was my first project.
That's the way to sell it.
We learned a lot, from failure. That's important.
You live and you learn.
But that's how we connected. And then, so let's talk about Content Day. Like, you started Content
It's so
Day.
awesome to have you guys here at Content Day almost every fucking Sunday.
Yo, it's the bomb. I love
the opening
comedy.
when we talked about like, yo, Khary's here. And it's like, no, it's a big fucking deal. Like, I love having you guys here. And the fact
I'm
that you
grateful
asked
for
me
you,
to
brother.
be here and it's the last episode
The best
of the
one for
season,
us.
of the show, of the podcast.
Of the season, yeah.
And to be here and just talking to you guys. Because, being back there, like, I'm always involved in the conversation, but like now to be
Yeah, we don't see you.
You know what I mean? I'm trying not to like, I shouldn't say anything, but I always like, like being part of, we're all friends, it's like, shit. No,
That's what
now
makes
I'm
it
here.
better.
Dude, this guy's had my back
Because
so
this
many
guy's like,
times.
actually, he's one of us. He's part of our entourage,
And he's had my back, and there'd be chunks of time where we don't see each other for, 6 months or whatever. And like, whenever I'm here and I'm at home, he's always throwing the dopest events, connecting artists.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, we'll get into it, what he's trying to do. But like, it's always a good energy, and it's always like other creative people coming in one place, spreading the culture of creativity. And Toronto's kind of lacking community, Screwface Capital. So we need to I think it's a rebuild season for Toronto, and it might take a while. It might take a while for us to be back on top. I think we peaked in 2016, but what Khary's doing with Content Day and his events,
big,
and formulating the culture and the artists is huge. So I'm really grateful for you, bro, and thanks for helping us with this show. It means a lot to me.
It's true.
I got you, man. I got all you guys.
Love you, dog.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, thanks for bringing the art.
And he's also
art
fucking
being
hilarious, and
artists. Like,
he's
you
a
guys are
funny,
all authentic artists.
Yeah, funny guy, funny actor. You'll see the skits as you're watching, but yeah, thank you, bro.
Yeah. Happy Content Day.
Happy Content Day.
Happy Content Day.
Okay, guys, welcome back to Slavic. Today we have a very special guest on our show. He is our cousin. Please welcome Ruslan.
Welcome, Ruslan. Kakwe. Welcome, Ruslan.
Okay, so Ruslan, beyond the Balkan is very far away. You want to tell us how is your flight while you're traveling on airplane and boat?
Good.
Hey, Ruslan, you have legroom? They give you legroom over there?
Yes, a legroom.
I always have problem with legroom.
Very big. This guy right here, big, no legroom. Okay. Well, Ruslan, tell us maybe how many goats you've got to see on your way over from Balkania.
Many.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. Is there a problem here?
What is problem? You always have problem with me.
You want to know what is problem?
Yes, you always have problem with me. Why is I am nice guy to you? I always help you. I am nice guy. You always have problem with me. We are here like Slavic Jerry Springer. Why don't you tell truth now? Finally, I want to be your friend. We are cousin.
You don't know what is problem.
What is please?
You want to know?
I want to know, please.
Back home, we had no tractor. He gave our family tractor.
Okay, good.
Shut up! It's not it.
Okay.
My grandmother was sick. She could not see. He make a serum. Now she see.
I help your grandmother.
Okay.
Shut up! That's not it. There was a famine. No food. He bring hot dog. Freshly boiled hot dog. Feed everyone.
Everybody hungry. I bring the food.
Shut up! That's not it.
Okay.
I could not pass my assignment. He gave me the answers.
What is
Not it.
Is this because he fucked your wife?
Yes, is this because I fuck your wife?
No, she needs good fuck. So I thank you.
You're welcome. Then what is problem? Please.
Do you remember high school?
Yes.
Star Wars, punk rock show, Empire Strikes Back. Play.
Star Wars Empire Strike Punk Rock Edition play. Yes. I was Luke Skywalker.
Exactly.
Yes.
Everybody in Balkania knows that I am the biggest Star Wars fan. I rehearsed 72 hours straight. No sleep. And he got the part.
So this is because I am Skywalker
Yes!
and you are C-3PO?
Yes. How dare you?
To be honest, I had feeling this was problem. So today I wanted to surprise you. I have official punk rock Star Wars Luke Skywalker special edition t-shirt he wore in punk rock Empire Strike Back. This was shirt I wore in play, but you deserve more than I.
For me?
For you, bros.
Goodness.
You deserve more than I. This for you.
Oh,
I am sorry, bro.
thank you.
You are welcome.
I forgive you.
I am sorry. You are brother of my brother.
Brother, cousin, brother.
Brother.
I like Star Wars.
Shut the fuck up!
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about Content Day. What is your idea for Content Day? How did it come about? What is it for those who don't know?
Yeah, so like I'm not really like a businessman or anything like that. So like I don't have like a manifesto of like what it is. It's just kind of like it's me embodied into a space for artists. I've been a jack of all trades my whole life. I've never been able to like do one thing, be one thing. Like I'm a dancer, photographer, MC, like mover, host, and like vibe creator, whatever. I do all these things, and I've had every job from like barista to ice cream scoop to like whatever promo, like all these things, right? And then so this is like my space. And it all happened because I was living with some really cool friends, and which is kind of like irrelevant, but I happened to be living with cool friends. And below us was a store, it was an art store that went out of business, and then it was just vacant forever. And I was like to the landlord, like, so what's happening downstairs? And like he literally said, oh, nothing. If you want to rent it, like I'd rather rent it to you rather than consider other people first, right? And I was like, bet, like let me take a look. And then I was like, I'll take it. So Content Day 1.0 was a storefront right below me on Dundas Street. And we're lucky to have, you know, an apartment above, which is kind of a dream. The main floor, and then also a basement. So it's pretty much, it was more space than this. It was like 3 stories. But the store itself was 2 stories, which is pretty much the same space as this giant, like not giant, but like big loft here, like when you like level it out. And when that place closed, I was there for a year. We got this loft space because this was available the day we had to move out of there because they're developing.
Wow.
And what's funny is that place is still vacant. They wanted us to move because they were going to develop, but they haven't been able to kick out the basement tenant because he's been grandfathered there since he was like 3 years old. And he's not leaving unless he like gets what he wants. And like, anyways, long story short.
Whoa, you got this fucking dope ass space.
Yeah, it was
whoever
forced
needs
to
a
upgrade,
space.
basically.
Content Day, give them a shout.
Yeah.
It's sick.
And Content Day is essentially like my office, but also a community space for artists. It's a house for artists, home for artists, anyone who has, anything they need to express and a means to express themselves, if we can help in any way to do that. It's a content creation studio and artist hub.
And you've been doing this how long now?
July 1st, 2021.
That's fire, man.
Into Content Day right now.
Dope space, man.
It's fucking
super
sick.
dope. Like even the design.
And
the art, everything.
Agenda Florio is my interior designer. She helps me with a lot of things in terms of like feng shui and like bringing certain elements. Like this couch was one of our first things in the old studio, and we got this couch because it was her genius that like wanted to make it like professional but also like cozy.
It is genius. The way you guys switch around things so quick.
Everything's movable. Yeah,
that's brilliant.
That's like an ode to me because like I can't be one thing. Everything's movable. This set, all this right here, the set that you guys are watching right now, they build this with our props every single week.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, and they do it, and we have a space where you can just move all the props around.
Yeah. Let's talk about like the culture of what you're doing, because it started out with your friends and then their friends, and it was like friend of friend basis from what I noticed. And then fast forward like 2 years, there's random Toronto mans are like, yo, have you been to Content Day and Objects? Like, I'm shooting a video. Like, yo, you heard about it? Like, I'm like, yeah, that's my buddy, bro. But people are hearing about it, and not just that. I'm saying it's reaching different corners that it's growing really fast, and the city's hearing about your events. What are you trying to do with your events? What are you trying to do with shaping the culture? What's your goal with the artists?
Yeah. So I kind of missed answering your question earlier, but that reminds me that Content Day did start with bringing friends together to essentially create content. We would have content days, right? That was during the pandemic, where it was kind of like illegal to express yourself in certain ways, right? And we would get together, and
it's also illegal to get together.
Illegal to get together, and we were getting together.
Fascism's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, we thought that was kind of ridiculous.
Sure.
It really like stomped out a lot of people's fires.
Yeah.
But we would get together, we'd create our ideas, any ideas we had. We work with local brands who maybe not had a budget or were suffering because of the lockdown or whatever. And we would like make content for them, or we'd make content for ourselves, and it would be like a big help one another kind of thing using our skills as content creators. And then when I got my opportunity to open my first studio, which was like below my house apartment, it was just felt natural to call it Content Day because that's what we were doing at the time, was having content days. So that became a hub for us in our content creation and our content days. But yeah, with our events, I've always loved events. Like I grew up in a household. My mom was always producing like community events, as well as her own like little like parties for her friends, or her own birthday party and stuff like that. She'd bring people together, and it always involved music and food and like all walks of life, like every type of person. My mom's house is like a house for like kind of like everybody, right? Which is kind of like the way Content Day is.
Yeah.
So like with my events, I like to just create experiences that, not only of course bring people together, but like will create memories that people always remember with the people that they're in the space with. So I like to, anytime I can, like hire local artists, people like myself who have something to share, so that like everyone can experience those things. And we like to do themes, we have like lingerie fashion shows, we have swimwear battle, like we do fashion shows, we like to incorporate like layered art forms where it's like singing and dancing, or like painting and performing at the same time. So we like see that like variety of art forms and how they can collaborate, rather than just like every art form is like its own category. You know what I mean? Like you go to a concert, you're just hearing music, and you go to an exhibit, you're just looking at art. That kind of thing.
This guy's fashion shows.
But you go to a musical, you got
this guy's parties.
Yeah, my parties are. I'm happy to say they're legendary.
He's that guy now, eh? You're just that guy.
Yeah, he's Freddie Mercury.
I don't care what nobody says. You're that guy.
Freddie Mercury.
I always like feel like in the future there's gonna be a time where it's like Khary's gonna be like a Toronto staple. Like he's
Yeah,
gonna be
guaranteed.
Yeah,
1,000%.
Like, have you ever
This
been
guy's
to the
slowly
Culinary
building a
Culinary
legacy on
He
the
already is a Toronto staple.
The
I
legacy
gotta
this
start
guy's
taking
building
my
is
face
good,
out of it.
bro.
I don't want to be the guy. I just want to.
Yeah.
Nah,
Too
bro,
bad.
it's
You have
your
to.
project.
You
You
have
have
to.
to. That's what
No, he's right.
I felt the same about my movie. But you're telling your story. You're creating the groundwork, the foundation. So you gotta say this man's now.
It's my.
You are the selling point.
Maybe not like that, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but it's sick what you're doing. What I'm
Big
trying to
dog
say.
the game?
Huh?
Wow, you want him to big dog the game?
Exactly.
That's mine.
So I'm like, maybe not like that, but
But nah, like it's cool. What I noticed when, like, I think your dad was there. Your dad's a Rasta, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and he had all those. What do you have? Like those nuts? What are they called?
tiger nuts.
Tiger nuts.
Yeah.
From Ghana, and he brought all the tiger nuts and the healthy food, and people were jamming, smoking, like different walks of life, all in like through here and objects, and like those events
God is good.
are super
It's
dope.
amazing.
And it brings people together, and it cross pollinates different artistry, and that's what I think is like the most impressive with what you're doing. And if you keep growing it, it'll just, you know. I hear guys from like Jane and Finch talk about yo objects content day, like yo.
Yeah, shout out
like,
Objects.
shoot-
They're a partner studio, and they're actually
Yeah.
right next door. And sorry, that was the Tim Hortons coffee. Shout out Tim Hortons.
When you need to do an extra big event, you can join the two studios.
That's
Yeah, we're right
crazy.
next. Our studios are connected by like a pretty small hallway, right? So like, some people think we're the same studio just because we're that connected. You know, they are a partner studio, and we're like family. I was working with Objects for maybe a year and a half before I moved over here, and even though my studio was downtown Dundas, it was like we were two different production studios co-producing each other's work.
Yeah.
Right. Me and Ben, the owner of Object Studio, were working very closely together. So he would help me out at my studio on Dundas, and I would always be here helping with the events and stuff. Because when I came to Object Studio and he saw what I did to like the space and the events that were there, he was just like, "Yo, you don't even work here, but you just made our event better," or like, you know what I mean? He saw that I was like adding, you know, fuel to the
Value.
fire in the space, and he's like,
So value.
"So you should be doing this, right?" And I'm like, "Oh, I do it. I have my own studio like down." He's like, "Oh, what? No way!" And so then we started working together. We appreciate each other as human beings, as artists, and as colleagues now as well as like partner studios, and yeah, we're doing very similar things. You know?
Yeah. I was gonna ask you about your upbringing. Like, where are your parents from originally? Like, they're both born and raised in Canada.
No, my dad is second generation Canadian. He's is that what you call it? I guess he moved here at a younger age.
First generation.
First generation?
Yeah.
Second generation is
What
like
do you mean
after being
second?
Canadian, you have a child. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So well, not even really because
You're like 20 different races, aren't you?
something like that. Yeah, because my dad's from Barbados, but he's Brazilian. He's half. His dad's from Brazil, and my mom is from Vancouver, BC, and she's Irish, Scottish, Lebanese, and Syrian. My aunt will try to tell me that
That's
I'm like
amazing.
other things too, and then my grandparents will like shut her up, like don't even like you know.
We're
cutting
Syrian,
it.
we're not Israeli.
Yeah, all these things are it's got nothing to do with like politics or anything like that. Just like the fact that like my aunt knows about like other things that we are because of like this person, that person. But like
That's cool.
I cut it off at I think the 6 things I am: Irish, Scottish, Lebanese, Syrian, Bajan, and Brazilian.
That's
Yeah.
dope, man.
Both my parents are mixed. It makes me very mixed.
You ever
was
you ever do the
Very
genetics
mixed.
testing?
Not
thing?
interested.
Not interested. Yeah.
I fucked
Too
up,
many.
man.
It's like 2 pages long. It's too
I'm
long.
on the black web.
I don't even
I'm
care
on
what my
the
parents
dark
tell me.
web.
My parents could tell me that I'm like Chinese, and I'll be like, I should get a DNA test. No,
I
don't
should
give a
get
fuck.
Chinese citizenship.
I wouldn't care. I just
But maybe you're Serbian. You don't know.
You
can
might
find
be
out.
Serbian.
Ah,
Or maybe 80%
You can pass. You can
don't
pass.
give anybody your DNA, man.
Yeah, once
a bunch of giants just converging on content day. Like,
Yeah, man.
we're here
it's-
for our
thanks.
father.
It's bugging the shit out of us.
Yo, my belly's been poking out.
Yeah,
Everything
bro,
fucking
and we just keep
keep
fucking
showing,
staring
yeah,
at
it's
it.
not
and
that
It's like,
kind.
yeah, I'm trying to give you signals like
Yo,
this, but you never look
you
at me.
should have told me my belly's sticking
He
out.
zoomed in.
You're looking at me, and I'm
Oh,
like,
you didn't
this.
notice? That's good.
I'm like, you're looking at me, and I'm like,
Your upbringing in terms of like how you were raised. Like, how's your mom growing up? How's your dad growing up? Like,
who's
you're
the
an
strict
artist. Are
one?
they
Who's the
artists?
easygoing one?
Can I just? I heard
Were they
your mom
balanced?
used to like. She had like a like a shelter for like runaway like women,
I would say as like a really supportive like person, like within like her community, her friends, I'd say that like I experienced other people needing like a safe space, but she didn't have like a shelter or anything like that. Like,
but she would be the one to take care of people.
Yeah, she took care of everyone. So like, you know, like if her friend, like, you know, we all have friends who like are either like going through something with their family or like an abusive friend or like husband or like boyfriend. And yeah, there were moments where like I remember like she would like take care of her friends.
She's a real one.
I don't know how you heard that. Like who knows that? Like
fuck, bro.
Nobody knows that, bro. Who like?
It's Nardwar over here, bro.
Yeah, like does Nardwar do that? Like have facts about people?
He has facts that's not on the internet.
That's what makes Nardwar.
How did you know about that?
Did you know that?
He has like deep secrets.
Don't worry
You know what
about
he's doing?
What do you know about me? You know
It's
shit about
remote
me?
viewing, bro. It's remote viewing. He remote views.
Unknow it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, when I heard that it was dope, I was like, damn. Like,
your mom's like this welcoming, chill person. She gave you freedom to be creative.
Yeah, I would say almost too much freedom. When I look back on my childhood, because I without even thinking about my mom or anything like that, or like my upbringing or what I should be doing, but I just think that like I believe in if I were to have kids, I would have to try my best to let them make as many mistakes as possible. You know what I mean? Like have their own trial and error. And I kind of look at it as like almost like in the real world, like in the wild or whatever, like that's how you learn, right? Is through trial and error. You'll never learn if someone tells you what to do. You 100%. Might have like a rule in your head and like you might follow it sometimes, but like knowing, you won't know until you know, right? And like, I don't know, maybe like bears, for example. I remember this one video where like this cub was trying to climb up something and obviously the mom should have just been like, let me help you. But the mom's just like, yo, you're a bitch ass bear cub, bro. Like you can't climb this shit? Like, is there like, seriously? And it finally did. And she's like, and then when he's on his last step, she went like, you fucking kid, like bear cub, you know what I mean? Like, come on, let's go. Yeah. It was struggling and I'm like looking at it, but that's like kind of life. It's like you kind of have to let people
You gotta be that bitch ass bear.
You gotta be that bitch ass bear to be a big mama bear or a big papa bear. You know?
Yeah, that's good. So you're saying you were raised that way?
Yeah.
You were free to make your own mistakes.
Freedom, and I'm glad that like none of my mistakes were detrimental. I did make some mistakes being like pretty free to kind of like gallivant, you know, gallivant. Like she had some pretty cool rules, like, you know, come home when the lights turn on, the street lights or whatever, right? Did I listen? Sometimes.
This man lived a New York lifestyle here in Toronto.
By the way, those chairs suck. I wouldn't lean like that. Yeah, like those are just bad, like, yeah.
Oh, you were on the way.
There's just way too many moving parts and they're all like...
He was on the way down.
You're on the way down.
What about your pops?
I would destroy that.
Oh yeah, so my parents weren't together most of my life. They split. They were married. They're still married. Because they just didn't want to go through another marriage or another divorce or whatever, right? They're still married legally, but they split, I think, when I was like 1 or 2. So I don't have like any memory of like having like a 2-parent house. But my dad was pretty involved. Like I don't know how often I saw my dad, but I know I saw him enough. Enough of that guy. No, but yeah, like he would take me for full weekends sometimes weeks. There was some time during elementary and high school where like my mom would go away and I would like just stay with my dad, you know? So we have a good relationship. I'm close with my father, pretty close. I help him with his business. He helps me with mine too, because he has his own skincare business that he's
his products are fire. Like straight organic
the black soap in the bathroom.
Shit,
Oh yeah, Tafari. The black soap in the bathroom is my dad's. We were talking about it earlier.
Bro, my dad, because I had that soap. My dad comes out like one time. He's like, "Where'd you get this soap?" He's like,
"Don't worry about it, Dad."
Everyone why isn't my dad famous for the soap? Because everyone who tries this, like, this is the shit.
They love
you know, like it's so good. Yeah, but like, I think I'm really lucky to have 2 parents that like not only am I like semi pretty close with, but like they've been very supportive. You know, they tell me what to do, but also don't care what I do, what I end up doing. As long like I'm choosing to do something, I think they'd have a problem if I'm doing something that someone else is making me do.
Yeah.
That's where they kind of would step in as like more intense parents about like, you know, stop fucking around or don't be influenced. But as long as I'm doing anything, I guess like true to me, like they're those kind of parents that are just like fucking good luck. You know?
Yeah. That's like Madeline was saying, same thing. She got the freedom and she wishes she got more rigidity. And I had a pretty good balance, but I had more freedom than rigidity. And then Paula, for example, my girlfriend, the opposite, just overly controlled, no space to do what she wanted. Like as a kid, So like she's doing that in her adulthood. But it's crazy to see. Like, but there's certain things where she's like on the ball where I'm just like aloof. And there's pros and cons to both. But I think having an open parents to a degree is a good thing. Because then you get to explore.
That's strict parents as hell, bro.
Well, I know. That's my thing is like, because you're
and
saying
you two didn't. You guys
had
turned
that
out
kind
pretty
of
good.
Yeah.
You had that kind of loose upbringing, and so for me, what I'm thinking, because I also had a strict upbringing.
I had strict mother.
I had a
strict mother.
I had strict parents, but so I'm thinking when I went into the creative artist life, it was like at times it was challenging because I'm like, I don't know what to do. Whereas if you kind of had that from like childhood, do you think it kind of sets you up better in adulthood to kind of like
be more structured or whatever?
Be more structured even with that freedom because,
Oh, I understood the opposite. Okay, but I know what you're saying now.
No.
How are you as a parent? You have a grown child.
Yeah.
He's like, don't remind me.
I was like, yo,
where did you fuck
when
up?
my kid was rude to me, I just said, shut up.
Where did you fuck up and where did you do the right thing?
You said you have strict parents.
I had super strict parents.
So are you strict or how loose are you?
I was pretty strict.
What are your pros and cons as a father? Hit us. Where did you fuck up and where did you do good?
Where I fucked up, let's start with that, was being too friendly.
Like friend-based?
First I was strict as a kid and then I started becoming more of a friend than a parent.
Because when did you have your kid? How old were you? 18?
You don't want to do that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, younger. But like, you know what I'm saying? You want to keep it, you want to be friends with them, but not more than a parent. If that makes any sense.
You were peer
you don't want to be like
peer.
a dictator, but like you want to be a parent, obviously.
Right.
Being more than a parent is what, like a dictator or something?
You get what I'm saying?
Overseer of the family,
Pros is like you get to guide this person into adulthood and watch them, like he said, get older, make their own decisions, and you know what I mean? Have their freedom and freedom of choice and their free will to do whatever they like.
Yeah.
And you can, like you said, most of his decisions didn't really get him into any detrimental trouble. So the pros are just helping you. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say like looking both ways before you cross the street translates into like so many things as a parent. You know what I mean? Like literally, kids don't look before they cross the street because they don't see the danger.
They don't know.
Exactly.
They do not see the danger. And I was a child, so I know what that's like. I literally know that fundamental like rule as a parent, right? Is like I have in my history of growing up run across the street without looking. I've done that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
all
so,
of us, I think, have you.
I think, and that's why parents do that. And it's a rule that like every parent needs to say and kids should follow. But like still, I remember seeing my friend, who was it at the time, so young, Manushwar, run across the street and almost get hit. You know what I mean? So like then you're
fucking
like,
Manoush, bro.
Just like a deer caught in headlights, I realized, and I was like, holy shit! Like I knew it was dangerous.
Yeah.
But
wait,
now I know it's dangerous. Like
wait, Manoush got hit?
He almost did.
Almost. But
he skidded as a human being, like as if he was a car. He skidded. His feet were like skirt, and like this car went skirt, and then on the other side of the road, the other car went skirt, and it was like, holy shit!
No more running across the street.
That's never happened to you. Where
my dog got hit by a
and you're like, no, where a situation happened, and you're like, fuck. This is why my parents told me don't do this shit. Or this is why they would tell me don't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And
you know you shouldn't, but you're like, yeah, but what's the worst that could happen? Like,
exactly.
As if anything bad's gonna happen to me. Like, how dumb are kids?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Stupid.
So now you get a second shot at being a father. How do you feel?
Great.
What are you gonna do different?
I love it.
With your younger child?
No, I give them the more free. No, I would give them.
You ate a few croissants.
Just give them more the freedom to be themselves. Listen more.
Yeah.
Not thinking that I know what they're thinking,
How do you guys discipline?
You know those ones? West Indian parents are good at that.
By what? I mean, listen more.
They're like to tell you what you're thinking, and you're just totally like they're so wrong.
Same with the Balkan
parents. I'm here
parents.
getting fucking yelled up at and for no reason, and it's like
yeah, exactly. The whole
so
thing.
now I
know what you're thinking. Don't even try. I'm like, I wasn't gonna try anything.
Yeah.
Or demanding for an apology.
Yeah, or you know what I like to do now? Parents, I'm about to give you the sauce. Seen? OG system. This little generation, this little 5-6-year-old generation, they're like alphas, bro. They think they know it all. They're like little bullies. So anytime you try to explain something to them, or they're doing something, they're like, no, I know how the way to do it. And I say, and so most parents before to the kids would be like,
shut up.
Yo, shut up, I don't care. Do it this way, do this the correct way. You know what I do to them? I put myself in a win-win situation. I say, yo, what are you doing there? And you're supposed to do that. They're like, no, I know what I'm doing. I say, oh, excuse me.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Only two things can happen from that. They fuck up and feel embarrassed. I do that to them all the time. Because I say, go ahead. Then they realize, and then I look at them, and it's an embarrassment on their face. Right? And I say, okay, no, this is the way to do it. Win for me. Because now I'm gaining their trust. Every time I do that with them, and they fuck up, they're going to be like, I should just listen to the man. Because every time he's listening, right? Number two, let's say they do it, and it's better than the way that you wanted them to do it. Win for you. You congratulate the little guy and give him a hug and a kiss. And nowhere in that. You learn
something too.
Huh?
And you also learn something if they do it better.
Yeah.
And nowhere in that was that, shut up and fucking do this way. You win. You're welcome.
My instinct is to say, shut the fuck up and listen.
Yeah, of course, all of us.
Yeah.
But this is the way that you deal with them. This is the smart way. Let them do it.
Hey, wake up. You're going to get killed.
Remember the way that they spoke to you. No, I don't know, right? Pride, right?
That's
okay,
true.
Go ahead, fuck up in front of me. Let your embarrassment hold you now to me.
All parents have
this
to
is
be
the way
teachers,
to do it.
but not every person is a teacher, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard. Like all parents need to teach, but just not everyone has a teacher mentality.
Right. So now slowly, kids building trust for you. You're slowly going to be able to tell the kid, nah, don't do that. And the kid's going to be like, you know what, 8 out of fucking 10 times, the guy's always right. Okay.
Yeah. And
after a couple months of training, now they're fucking listening to everything you're saying, bro.
Yeah. And if you're not too harsh, if you're not too harsh, they feel comfortable. Yeah.
You're welcome. No, I'm not writing no book. I gave you the sauce. Go with it.
My mom, I want to touch on that because I remember Tafari said something about, like asking questions, you'll get your answer. But my mom would do that, like to find out if I know what to do. Instead of telling me what to do, she'll make me come up with the answer to make it feel like I accomplished it.
She'd plant the seed.
And you only know that later on in life because as a kid, when they do it, you have no idea. But she was like, oh yeah, so when this happens, then what? Oh really? Oh cool. And then what? And I'd be like, oh, then I'll do they'll ask you questions so you come up with your own answer. It's so smart.
She gets you moving. She gets up
she's
here
probably
working.
the only person of very few people, and not only as a parent, but in my life, as a human being that does that.
Yeah.
I think people need to do that more, and it's a good thing that I adopted.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
I'm getting teary-eyed thinking about it because I'm in my past right now. I feel like I'm in a dream right now.
That's good, man.
It's all a dream, revisiting things.
Of course.
That's beautiful.
Thanks for asking some good question, boys.
Let's go. It's those early years, man. And it's those early years that form us. They talk about in psychology so much, the first 5 years, first 5 to 7 years. It creates the highways. It cements your neural pathways for adulthood. There's so many things that our parents don't know, that we don't know, that generally the average person doesn't know in those first 5 to 7 years. They don't know, now Gabor Mate, who's written so many books, he's considered one of the top psychiatrists. I think he's a psychiatrist in the world, but he has this holistic way of looking at psychiatry, and he's kind of spiritual, and he's like, yo, when a baby is held by its mother and they lock eyes, the baby's downloading the mother's subconscious and cementing neuro pathways for adulthood. So if the mother's going to love her kid regardless, 99.99% of the time, no matter how messed up the mother is, she's going to love her child as much as she can. However, if the mother's jealous of her ex, or the mother is going through some deep shit, the baby's downloading that and it's not conscious. And the baby's just downloading everything around it, especially when the mother's holding it and they're locking eyes. And he's like, that's the formation of ADD usually if the mother has some sort of unresolved trauma.
The fuck?
Yeah, it's wild.
If I knew that when my daughter was born, I would have covered her eyes and be like,
cover her eyes. Don't look at the child, bitch.
Yo, with the mother.
Don't you dare look at her. Yo, people say that, so maybe that's
but
the mother, no.
There's no escaping trauma. There's no escaping trauma, and we need trauma because that's why we have artists. That's why we have great achievers, because they're overcoming something. They're overcompensating for some sort of trauma. I'm not saying get rid. Don't baby your child, because you baby a child and you coddle it to the point where it can't even walk, and it's just you're just a spoiled kid looking for help your whole life. It's a nice balance. But like, if you're conscious of like, oh, I'm going through some shit, let me like breathe it out before I hold my baby. That type of shit, like, it makes a difference.
That's
you know?
wicked. I didn't.
But then the baby doesn't have trauma, and
Yeah. You want a little bit of trauma. Like, the trauma that you want your kid to have
Imprintings.
is, yo,
Stuff that
go
teaches
make
you
your own
lesson,
mistakes. That's still
Yeah, yeah.
trauma, but it's like a healthy trauma.
Yeah.
Usually. But yeah, it's interesting.
I guess that's what trauma is, like physical trauma or like psychological trauma is like it's your body trying to like formulate something that will like avoid something in the past, right? And that's what like I'm sure phobias are for in a reason because like people who have like arachnophobia, like their ancestors were probably murdered by spiders or killed by, poisoned by spiders, right?
It's like epigenetics.
You should be afraid of these things because they could kill you. And unfortunately, you were traumatized or generationally traumatized.
Yeah, even in your generational genetic code, you're transferred like trauma. It's crazy, bro.
Absolutely.
The shit that they're like learning now is insane. Like our people have been warring forever. Like not forever, but like in the Balkans, like tribes have been going at each other for like 1,000 years.
Still?
Every 50 years we have a war.
Up till this fucking day?
Yeah, well, we had a long peacetime, like 600 years. But even before that, 600 years, there was trauma.
600 years?
Serbian Empire, dog.
Before
peacetime, dog. There was a good
we are now in the peacetime.
There was a good 300 years.
Bathe in it.
You guys
like a blip in
These
time.
guys love to fucking war, bro.
Yeah. You know, Noam Chomsky said about the Balkans, they display the best human characteristics out of all the races and the worst with no middle ground.
What day is it today?
That's
Time to fuck shit up.
spooky.
I mean, you're the best.
We are the best.
We are the best.
We are the best.
Our cousin Ruslan, he is of the worst.
Ruslan, I don't know.
I think Ruslan's the sickest.
None of that shit.
Cool guy.
No,
Like,
we are the
he likes
best.
pets.
No, we are the best. They are. Yo, I'm going to show you guys that. It's fucking hilarious.
I was just telling someone yesterday about
The parties.
I
Talk about the
I don't
parties.
think a lot of people know about your music, and Heather Russell was here.
Oh, yeah.
And when we were talking about you, she brought up like that night I was like emceeing for your show, right?
My first and only show that I did.
Yeah, and I told her that it was like your only show ever, and she's like, "What?" But it was so good. Like I'm like, "Yeah, like his music and the way his stage presence and the stories he tells are amazing." Like I just see, especially after that concert, because I already like listened to your music. It was all like Canadian guy and stuff. It was all jokes. I loved it. Yeah. But like after like seeing you perform, it's like this guy should be on tour. Like you're just you could be that entity, like sharing your art with people and people truly enjoying it everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, Mirko, you and I were on stage. Steve was late for the show, but Steve was in a few tracks with me. Nia Jiba.
He's been around.
Steve did Feta Cheese with me and Nia Jiba. Yeah. This guy's the reason I do music. Yeah. So
I found that out yesterday during the podcast.
Yeah, so I started taking it seriously because of Steve, because every night after work we'd smoke a blunt and we just rap and we talk about global domination. And
let's talk about global domination.
This guy was willing to give up and go into the fucking corporate world and all kinds of shit. I'm like, don't do that.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I was like, because you never know where, even if I didn't want him to give up the creative side of his shit either, right?
What was the question?
Because you don't know where it'll lead to.
Where do you see Content Day in 5 years?
Yeah,
where do you see
where do you see Content Day in 5 years?
Yeah, so Khary, tell us, where do you see Content Day?
Yeah, Mirko, where do you see Content Day?
Mirko, you're
where do we see Content Day?
I could fucking, that's an easy one.
He's a staple.
I would actually be very interested in hearing like the outside perspective. You
guys
are pretty eternal nowadays.
That's fucking easy.
Content Day?
But it's on silent. It's all on silent. But my laptop is connected to the speaker, so you can definitely hit. Oh, Rune's calling me. 1 second. Where's my actual phone?
I see them having their own building. I feel like this is just a stepping stone. You know what I mean?
It's true though. All those things are true. I agree with all those.
So I've been to the events and stuff like that. You know, right? On the phone.
Okay.
So they have a pocket pussy, which is like $27, but then the actual flashlights itself are like $100.
Okay, wait.
Pocket pussy, yeah.
I was gonna say, wait, pocket pussy's $20, but flashlights are minimum.
What the fuck is going on right now?
Okay, $100. I think it's worth it.
Time out. It has to fit a big dick though. Like.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'll get a flashlight then.
Yeah. Grab the cheapest flashlight they got will be perfect.
Or if it's some sort of like fleshy looking pussy.
Fleshy looking.
I'm gonna come on. I'm gonna come on.
Come on, what? Oh, he's showing us the pocket pussies.
Oh,
Get the camera one.
These are 27, right?
oh shit, we don't need.
These ones are 100.
Dude, we don't need the. We don't need the. Fun.
I think-
That doesn't even look like vagina.
Yeah, and then
I would
hopefully
just
we'll
buy the chunky, cheaper one. Let's see the flesh color one.
Now go tell your kids. Don't tell
Oh,
your
it's
kids.
small.
That's what I'm saying. It's small. Like it'll be not as visible as like.
We can't even fit Big Dog in there. Oh,
Yeah, that's what I mean. So on video, when you hold it, it's like, show me.
Damn, bro.
Wait, I can't. It's not clear.
It's like Christmas
Can you go up to the names?
Ketlana Rhodes.
Okay, I can see now. Keep going.
Is that Mia Khalifa? Jeez, Mia Khalifa.
No, keep going.
Yo, Mia Khalifa.
To the left.
Ketlana Rhodes.
Guys, we're literally buying a pussy. We are buying a fleshlight live. Well, it's not live. This is recorded.
It doesn't
I've
matter.
never
We're not
bought a
using
sex
it.
toy in my life, and now we're doing it as a company. We have the official Kazumi fleshlight, and
Is there a brand that makes this?
yeah, it's fleshlight, right? Fleshlight.
Oh, Fleshlight's the brand.
The coolest thing is the insides of the woman are patterned, and the outside.
But is that like what a woman's vagina looks like? I've never seen
That is apparently what Kazumi's insides look like.
Interesting. A lot of different shapes, geometric.
So I think they made it more geometric than it is.
Yeah, there's no way it looks like a
It's like some.
It's a puzzle. It looks like a puzzle. I mean, aren't all women's?
Shout out Kazumi. We're gonna open your
puzzle I've never
vagina
figured out.
today.
Why don't they have the G spot labeled?
We'll never find that.
Where's the clit? Oh, we'll find the clit for the first time ever.
We're never gonna find the clit.
Where's the clit? I've never found the clit. It's in the hood? I was raised in the hood. I should be able to find that easily.
Is it a two-person?
To be honest, someone got excited and ripped the top off already, but we haven't actually opened it yet.
So today we're all going to be busting a nut inside of this Kazumi fleshlight and trying to return it.
Damn right we are, and trying to return it.
Let's go. Okay.
Looks like an ice cream cone.
Wait. You
gotta
read the instructions.
Oh yeah, so it's modeled after, of course, a porn star, Kazumi. We all had our vote. At the end of the day, Arun had the executive decision, and he chose one that none of us mentioned, and then he went with Kazumi. And
I heard of Kazumi. She's got a fat ass.
Yeah, no.
You can tell by that she highly sought after.
Yeah.
Check her specs. Check Kazumi.
She's a dame.
We're checking Kazumi's specs. 5'3", 145. That's ass for days. Let's go.
I don't know.
Bra size.
34 double D, bro.
And her favorite position is
missionary.
It's one of my favorites
Getting
too.
extra deep in there.
excellent.
Yeah.
Since our girlfriends will never let us have sex with you, Kazumi, today we're going to be having sex
With you.
with you. Open her up.
Let's see.
This is the greatest thing
What is it? A croissant?
this is the best croissant I've ever tasted in my entire life.
That looks fucking good.
Your mic. Okay.
What's it up?
That was grabbing on your chin.
This is the best fucking croissant I've ever tasted in my entire life.
Where's it from?
It tastes like it came straight out of Paris. Like I should dip it in a fucking hot chocolate. Or a Milo.
Milo.
A Ovaltine.
No, you ruin it with that.
I don't think it needs
It's
anything.
supposed to be with an espresso and that's it.
Or nothing. I had one, a fig something.
That was a real European thing to say.
Cherry Bomb Cafe, best croissants in the city. They tell me people drive from Barrie to get their croissants.
Let's get these guys to sponsor the show.
Yo, Cherry Bomb, I'm your neighbor, bro. You guys gotta fucking sponsor
Let's get
this.
Cherry Bomb!
Cherry Bomb Cafe, Roncesvalles. Let's get it. Zoom in on his face.
And then we should be beside him like,
This is a banger fucking ad.
Let me tell you how good. Let me tell you how good this is. I can't say it, but I'm gonna show it to you, and you're gonna know what I'm talking about.
Fuck, now I want to eat one.
Watch.
I'm craving one now. I just
That's
want
how
the
I
cheese,
feel, bro.
I just want the cheese.
Get a little tiny
Give me
corner.
the cheese.
And that's real cheese they put in there, by the way. That's cheddar, fucking real cheddar cheese.
Aged cheddar.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really good.
Now sit back. Sit back.
It's good.
Sit back, chew, and tell me how you feel.
Cherry bomb coffee. Cherry bomb cafe.
We're trying to rush
Yeah,
it.
it was amazing.
It's fucked up.
I'm gonna put it in my pocket, Nancy. What?
Don't.
Save it for later.
It's
Save it for
gonna
later.
stain it. It's very
it's gonna be
oily.
oily,
It's
it's oily.
extremely oily.
Oh, save it for
It
later.
goes through the cardboard.
Save it for later.
The man wants to put it in his fucking pocket. Let him put it in his pocket.
It's gonna
No, we got
oil.
a podcast. We got a podcast.
He's old school.
Save it for later.
Gonna
So
oil.
pocket pussy and
That's
pocket
old school. I
percent.
don't care what you guys say.
Save it for later. It's with my handkerchief. My handkerchief's in this one.
Content day in 5 years, Mirko. What do you
I
say?
see Content Day in 5 years throwing some of the biggest parties in the city for like huge events, whether it's like TIFF or like the fashion week. You've already done some fashion week stuff already, yeah? But like on a bigger scale, you know, and bigger venues, a lot more people, a lot more faces, like known faces, and just like everyone talking about it all over the world. Like it's a world event, kind of like sort of, I feel like Andy Warhol used to have like throw parties too, and like the whole world knew
People
about
have
his party.
referenced Andy Warhol to me so many times that
That's what I think of too. Though,
Yeah.
a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
I should look him up because I don't know him that well. I've seen his art,
One of the
really like his
greatest
art, but I don't know
American
much
artists.
about his biography and like his history as an artist.
There's a
I
show
should
on
look it up.
Netflix or HBO about Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
Who?
Andy Warhol, one of the
Is that
greatest.
guy with
He's a
that page
painter,
picture with the split
photographer.
into four and like every celebrity
that,
has
that
it in their
painting
house?
up there is an Andy Warhol inspired painting of
Yeah,
Christina
yeah.
Hendricks from Mad Men.
Yeah.
And my friend from high school painted that.
It's all split into four.
Andy Warhol's a legend.
Shout out Alana Fricker.
What do you
They're
see?
called the Fricker sisters. We went to high school with them, and their Mo Fricka was their
Mo
catchphrase. Go ahead.
For Content Day, I see, like what Safari was saying, bro. I see this guy probably expand into a bigger space, way bigger, because he's gonna need one. And I see like
It would help.
I see him and the spot or the Content Day in itself being like the epicenter in Toronto for new up and coming. Like it is. That's pretty much what it is right now.
It is.
But it's gonna have
But
so
you
much
could
spotlight
scale
on it.
Yeah.
Dude's gonna be way more
And
stressed out.
we're gonna build resources.
Dude's gonna be super busy, and but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good thing.
Yeah.
Like how far he's gonna be progressing in the 5 years.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's gonna have a lot more opportunities, even just other than this, presented to him by whoever he meets and along the way. You know, it's my boy.
Dude,
So
I agree with.
When you're saying Safari,
unbiased.
You're saying Safari.
It's
Do
my
you mean
boy.
Safari?
No, Tafari was sitting here
Oh, you were
earlier.
oh, okay.
and he
I was confused with the.
He did the
The
same thing
names
to
are so
you
similar,
yesterday,
and you're
bro.
pointing here.
When we shot the episode yesterday, remember you
Yeah.
were holding the light, and he was like, "Did you say Safari?"
Yeah, you said
I'm like, "No." I said,
Yeah,
"Yes,
I remember
Safari."
that.
When you kind of,
Safari.
That was funny.
that's hilarious, eh? You had to be there. You had to be there.
I think in 5 years, man, kind of what they were saying. I just want to point on like the state of the city and the country right now. It's rough. I don't like. We know that I don't live here, but like I'm here. This is my hometown, and I feel guilty to say that I feel refreshed when I'm not home because other places have more of a camaraderie and a collaborative energy than Toronto in general.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like what you're doing is an oasis of saving the remnants of what's happened to the city, because we're not going to delve into it now, but like what happened right before the pandemic with Trudeau coming into power, we thought he was cool, and then he didn't end up being cool, to say the least. And then the pandemic kind of fucked us hard, man. It like drove a freight train into not just society in general, but especially creativity. There's always that predisposition of that cliquey Toronto energy. You know, we have to go to like the States to pop off. Like Drake had to do, everyone has to go to the States to pop off. But now with the basketball scene, like we're blowing up. We're top 3 to 5 in basketball in the world.
Time progressed, so now we're it. You don't have to really go anywhere.
We're killing it. In basketball, we're killing it. And there's more of that camaraderie. In the art space, we've always had world-class talent, but it's always hard for us to blossom because we're in this cliquey mentality, this village mentality. And we're like a top 5 city in the world, but we still have a village mentality.
Top 5 for sure.
Yeah, and we're always like, yo, fuck that guy, he's from Scarborough. Fuck that guy, he's from this area. Like, so what you're doing, I think, has the potential to bring the city to the next upper echelons, especially scouting. If you can curate the best unknown talent, not just give everybody a platform, but give like really talented artists that are unknown a platform and throw these events and like networking parties, kind of like what Cole Bennett did with Lyrical Lemonade. You know Cole Bennett? You know Cole Bennett?
I think I do. The name is like a name I know. I just can't.
He's that white boy from the suburbs of Chicago. Basically, he really liked underground rap. And like he was a huge fan of like the up and coming scenes. So he would pick his favorite artists and he'd do free music videos for them. And these artists had no money. So he was really good with VFX. And he started directing and doing these crazy VFX. They were simplistic videos. And then these artists started blowing up and the videos started going viral and he put everything on his own channel. And he had the rights to the music videos. And then eventually the music videos started blowing up. And he becomes a curator. So he essentially becomes the record label where he's like, artists are coming to him now, like, yo, do one of my videos.
Oh, Cole Bennett, isn't the guy that does all the keyframing?
Lyrical Lemonade. Like, so eventually he likes some artists and he's like now looking at who he wants to put on because he has the power, because he has the eye to put on like good art. And like he discovered Juice WRLD. And like he did Juice WRLD's first videos, rest in peace, Juice WRLD. But Juice WRLD is one of the greatest talents of this last generation. It's unfortunate he died at like the age of 21, 22. But like he discovered him, he did his first video. The video does like 500 million views. And like now Cole Bennett's doing it. He's done Eminem, he's done Drake, he's done everything. It's a pleasure and an honor to work with Cole Bennett. But he's not just a music video director, he's a curator of art. And he's like, he started out as he's still a director, but like he's built a culture and he throws huge events. What I'm trying to say is you could create a platform to put on the next generation of really talented artists and formulate that culture and grow the culture which you're doing. So I think in 5 years, not only will you be, I think, saving Toronto's, be the staple of Toronto's artistic community, I think you'll take it global. And I'm here to help you, so let's fucking go.
Yo, I'm going to jump out on a limb, bro, with this guy. I'm going to jump out on, you know where I think this guy, look, not where I think he's going to be in 10 years, because I don't know what decisions he's going to make in his life. You know where I would like to see this guy? In 10 years, I would like to see this guy own his own film studios on a couple of acres. It's 10 years, it's possible.
Yeah.
Like, you know how 50 Cent or Tyler Perry, they have their compounds? I'm not saying it has to be that big or whatever.
We could do it.
This is a film studio, basically. Yeah. And I could see this guy just having his big compound where people shoot TV shows.
And parties.
It's all being done here on a small...
My laundry room is actually where my studio was before it turned into the Dundas storefront, because
so you see what's happening
behind the storefront is my laundry room from my apartment. And the door, literally when I got the space, opened up into my studio, which is now this warehouse. That's in 2 years. So sure, 10 years we'll have a compound.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, let's do it.
I would love to see that.
What about you? What do you see?
Khary, what do you see? I see some motherfuckers looking at me.
What is this, romp room?
What do I see? I am, again, someone who like is so mixed up in so many different things that I see so many different things. And when people started to tell me when I was younger that I need to stick to one thing, I combated that. So like, it's hard to imagine everything is possible because I'm here now doing events, doing photography, doing videography, also being a host, all these things. So I'm not gonna say it's not possible anymore. And I do wanna see the space. It would have to be very versatile and maybe like multi-storied so that there can be dedicated spaces without interrupting each other's workflow and, different, there needs to be different departments basically. But yes, a film studio for sure. It's a content studio, production studio.
It's the same thing.
Event space, community hub. I wanna make sure that people can not only create art, but also heal. I want there to be therapies involved, and at the end of the day, it should always be an open space and a space for people to be able to express themselves in almost any way possible. Because, like you were saying about the city being cold, like Toronto has always been cold, but I always love the people in Toronto. So why can't we be open to each other?
We're not united.
There's more people that want to do that than less.
That's true.
They don't know how. Way more.
So like, what people have said, and it's not like something I tried to do on purpose, like, oh, I need to do this and I want people to say this about it. But people will say when they come into the space or come to an event here, they'll come to me personally and say like, thank you for letting me express myself. You know, I'm like, holy shit, like I didn't know I was actually doing that like particular thing.
Yeah,
like
you're healing
why
them.
Can't you do it elsewhere, you know?
You're fucking healing people, bro. Let's
like, you know, was that your friend over there and the other one with the lady, the healing lady?
What?
Margot?
Oh, that's your friend?
So I didn't know what you were referring to. That was was that you and the other one?
These guys know me, so they know what I'm saying.
No, Margot was doing a healing ceremony in objects.
Was that his friend?
Do you know Margot?
Margot Free Music? Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, through Raja Rhythmic.
Yeah.
They were good friends, and I know her through him.
That'd be cool. You add that in the studio, get some healing going on.
Let's keep healing.
I like that idea,
let's
bro.
bring Toronto back on top within like a year or two. I think that would be a good goal.
Bring them together.
Bring us
We're
together.
On top.
If we're
up
together
there.
and
We're
we
up
have
there.
community spaces, you know, we do have a 7
We're
month
on top. I
winter,
promise you.
but like
You're coming here now. You're coming to us. We're not gonna go. People are coming here.
We're a world-class city, and I'd like to feel that energy again. It's been tough. The only time I feel it is around this guy and his events and this place.
Yeah, it's true.
But I think
BlogTO. Sorry, not BlogTO. Yeah, sorry. BlogTO called me Toronto's biggest hype man on roller skates. Oh no, Toronto's biggest hype man is a photographer on roller skates.
That's sick.
And then they interviewed me on a breakfast television thing, based on that interview without talking to me first, right? On breakfast television or breakfast radio, whatever. So they're like, why do you love Toronto so much? And I was like, oh, I don't. I love the people in it, and I think the people around me are inspiring. So she was kind of like, oh, okay, like whatever, right? So it's that mentality, and like people need to realize that like we're
Bro, I think we peaked in 2016 as a city. And then now it's like a downslope and everybody's like divided. Not just like artistically, but like politically, racially, all this bullshit. And what you're doing, you've always been uniting people. Always been uniting people. And all of us here have that same mentality where it's like, the fuck is this bullshit? What the fuck people yapping about over here? Like, you're all the same
what are people
fucking
yapping
shit.
about over there?
What the fuck are you talking about? Get in here, have a good time. We're all the same shit. See humanity, see God in each other. And
would you ever run for prime minister?
I've had people ask me that.
Content
it's a
Day 5 years.
question. I never want to be in politics ever. I wouldn't put my toe into politics.
There's like a shot of like Justin Trudeau in his like early 20s, like being like, I'm not being a politician.
Hey, don't compare this guy to Justin.
No, I'm just saying, like, you never know in 20 years, you're like.
No, I feel like the day I would ever step in, like, that's not me. Like, I wouldn't, like, I don't know what that is.
Things are so bad
I wouldn't put my finger like into that. Like, I just don't know. I feel like you do that, you're not you anymore. It doesn't matter who you are.
But that's why you got to do it. It's like Gladiator. Maximus didn't want to be the fucking emperor, right? And so, like, and that's why
I guarantee the moment, I'm not sure if he did in the end. Did he? I don't think he did. I think he went back to his farm. But like if he did, he would denounce it, or he would just like do him and then like have people do, you know what I mean? It's like, you can't if you're not that person.
Content Day party.
But you're not corrupt.
The party.
Yeah, like it would just be like the party. Yeah, like it would be like us doing our thing, but like getting other people to like basically like carbon copy a space that has these attributes for people to express themselves, and then like we need that everywhere. That's the reason why when we brought open concepts to Vancouver, I didn't know Vancouver needed open concepts. We just wanted to share what we were doing because a few artists asked us to bring it there. And then when we were there, people were like, thank you for coming. And we're like, we're just an event. Like, but they're like, thank you for coming. And then we were leaving and they're like, don't leave. Like, we need you to stay here. And we're like, what? Like, what is Vancouver missing? And it's like, they're missing, I guess, what we're doing.
A creative
Toronto.
space, a free space to be themselves and, you know.
But it's been like a couple years since like the lockdown. So I thought like they expressed themselves, right? But I had so many people come up to me, like, and I thought, you know, after the first person, I was like, oh, you must be sheltered. But no, the whole fucking community
it's wild.
Has been sheltered, like
suppressed.
Crazy.
A misconception about Vancouver is because it's so like, I guess like Hollywood successful with the film they got going on there, is that it has culture. It is actually the lack of culture there. Like you go there, the artistry, nothing. Actual like cultures, nothing. So it's like the people there, you know what I mean, have this like, you know what I mean, facade put on them that like, yo, Vancouver is dope. Mm-hmm. It's really only the wilderness that's dope and the aesthetic, right? But then you go and you talk to the people and there's just something missing.
Something missing.
You know what I mean? And like,
vanilla,
they want more.
They want more, and they have some of the best graffiti I've ever seen.
Their artists are incredible, and that's why I thought it was like this mind-blowing.
But there is no space for it. Like here, there is no space for it anymore, right? We just drove by Ogden and DuPont. That thing is gone now. That old box space.
Beautiful space. Yeah.
Remember Dufferin and Queen? That space is gone. It's a condo. The city is like really peeling back on, you know what I mean, investing in artist co-ops the way it used to. So it's kind of like strangling out like all the art, and that's kind of why I think why the city, our city, Toronto, has become a little cliquey and like kind of Chicago. Like, oh, you're a gang across the street, we're a gang over here. Instead of being like New York, like, yo, like you're doing something dope, yo, I'm doing something dope.
Connect.
Let's get it.
Even
Let's
though
get
from
it.
different
You know what I
boroughs.
mean? Exactly. On some Wu-Tang shit.
The thing is, New York got into that mentality so long ago. These fuckers are slow.
100, but it just shows you how close you can be, but so far at the same time.
That's how New Yorkers are, though.
We're like stepping into their gang shit that they stepped into like fucking 20 years ago. Like, we're so behind.
But why?
We're 120 years behind New York.
It's like we don't even need to see that though, right? We should just be moving in our own direction. But for some reason, we're moving backwards to move forwards, to move left. It's
weird shit. I keep telling everybody this is the new.
The Fire's dropping gems. In season 2, I'm getting 2 more mics.
1,000%.
BTS should have like a mic. Yeah, exactly. Anybody on the set.
I think
we're all
should
like
have
the
a
same.
mic.
It's true.
Yeah.
Like everybody on the
BTS
set should be
chimes in.
mic'd up.
You, to me, like, you do some fucking amazing shit, and like, I always wonder, does anything, like, any new endeavor, like, scare you? Like, is there ever like moving from like that other studio to here, or like growing?
Oh my God, terrifying.
Serious? Like,
I mean, like, it's as terrifying as it is exciting. Like, everything to me is terrifying and exciting. Everything I do, like, the more, like, when something scares me, because, like, first of all, we didn't even mention this, but when I opened, day one, when I opened up Content Day Studio, we also opened up Content Day House.
Right.
So two of my biggest projects of my life, out of all the things you've seen me do, right? 2 of the biggest things I did started on the exact same day. 2 projects that need my full undivided attention in 2 places at the same time. I opened up an art house and I opened up this factory warehouse studio. Insane. I was terrified. I had to take on, that rent. Like, the people involved to manage, and then all the in-betweens and exponents and things that like
pressure
we didn't know about coming up since day one, and like landlords being specific about things, like just surprising us with things, and we're like every day was like, but like having the space to do our passions and express ourselves was like, so exciting.
That was the main thing.
Kept us going. So that motivation never died,
Yeah.
And that's gonna pay off monetarily if you. I mean, it's paying off right now, but like it's gonna really pay off if you stay the course, because it's as long as you lead from here and you have that growth mentality, you're good.
It's kind of what I told myself. I felt like I was being like ridiculous even doing Content Day House, but it was something I was very passionate about. And of course, we only had a 9-month lease there, but I saw it as an incubator, and I didn't think it would be that successful, but it was the most successful thing I ever did, because like it worked. And I know that I could, in the future, and this is something that we didn't talk about, but like have an art house for people to actually house artists, right? Yeah. Because it's different to have this space here, because we're not living here. No one's living here. There's artists coming here, they use the space, they leave. But when you give an artist a place to stay and house them and express themselves, like, and work and create at home, is like completely different.
That reminds me of like when we went to LA and I think it was in Silver Lake or Echo Park. There was that one, like, sort of like a hostel for artists specifically. You had to be an artist. Yeah. And they're like, what do you do?
Where Savan and Lucas were living.
Lucas, and we
it was like Podshare, but for artists, yeah.
We recorded Tatiana in one of their booths.
I love that song.
Oh, yeah, we recorded Tatiana at one of those spaces.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and they have that in LA. So I'm like, oh shit, like, yeah, we don't have that in...
The crazy thing is I didn't even do my research first. It was an idea I had, and I did, as I was like building the Content Day House, looking up other art houses and stuff, nothing that was actually what we were doing. But it was crazy that like to have an idea without like being like, oh, I want to do that, or see that, but like just having a need for it and making it happen. And then like first time I'm here about his art house and things like that, but like I'm glad those things exist, and it makes me even more confident that we can do it
Why don't we take you to LA to the art house so you get a little bit of research?
Do they have kebapi?
Yes, kids. Chevapi.
No.
Chevapi for you. Those mother sons of bitches.
Over there.
No, what's that thing we had at your house on the birthday night?
Chevapi.
Gracia?
No, that yummy. No.
Which one?
Not the chevapi. We know what chevapi is. The other thing.
Burek.
The cheese stuff? Yeah, burek.
I did want to say one thing I forgot to mention, which is like so obvious, and like the thing that I would never forget is like just my team. You know, like everyone at Content Day, and like my friends and family at Objects as well. Like I might be Khary Safari or whatever. I might be like the head photographer. I might be the person who like founded Content Day or whatever. But like along the way, like every single person, like Nat T and Joe. Why am I crying?
Nah, man, it's all right.
It's real, dog.
Awesome,
Thank you.
You're a good man. It's a good guy.
Yeah, let's fucking
go.
go.
You came far, brother. You came far, bro.
Bro, you wouldn't have been able to do it without them.
You came far. You should be proud of yourself, my G.
You should be proud,
From like
bro.
8 years ago when I came around and this guy was just taking photographs. And then every time I see him after there, he's doing something else and he's doing something else. And you catch him on the internet, he's always doing something. It's like you, fucking hard-working guy.
Yeah.
He's come a long way.
People that hold us up, you know?
You deserve it.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep growing it. We're going to keep growing it together.
Yeah, 100.
There you go. Let's fucking go.
Couldn't hold it together. Love you guys.
No, this is good. This is real. That's when you know it's real. And I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud of you, and I'm very grateful for you for giving us
no
this
waste
space.
man's on our team, eh, bro?
Yeah, no waste man's. And on
No
that
waste
note,
man's allowed.
He has a snack.
Oh, I was saving this for a special moment. Just like no.
Oh, this guy.
Come on, man. I ain't got
Thank you.
Full of the feast and there's none left, bro.
Thank you for watching this season of Nemsworld Uncut. We're going to come back even stronger and harder for season 2.
Thing I've ever seen you do since I've known you.
Hey, bro, I'm doing the fucking outro, bro.
I'm sorry. Fuck, go ahead.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching Nemsworld Uncut season 1. We're going to come back strong for season 2.
I got to get away from
It's
Safari.
real.
We love
you.
Good.
Nemsworld Uncut. Watch the episode to see why I have tears in my eyes right now.
Brought
Watch
to
the
you
episode.
by
Content Day Studio.